I love getting unexpected compliments. Just the other day, I got a letter from my credit card company saying that my payments were outstanding. Oh, so glad they appreciate me. You know word-a-day calendars? Yeah, learn a new word every day. I'm not smart enough for a word-a-day calendar, so I got myself a word-a-month calendar. This month's word, August. I was on the overground recently, and I noticed a sign that said, "How can you tell if a plainclothes ticket inspector is on your journey?" I can't tell. And this terrifies me. So I had to develop a system so that I never got caught out by a plainclothes ticket inspector. Here is that system. You just stand there, wait until they pull out their ticket scanner. Then you pull out your ticket scanner. That's right. I'm also a plainclothes ticket inspector. I've been under deep cover for 3 months. And you just blew my whole operation. Report to the chief. She'll have your lanyard for this. So I have a friend, honest, I do. And when this friend was in secondary school, his PE teacher made all the kids in his class run around with dust masks on so that they could experience what it would be like if they had asthma. Except my friend had asthma. So he just got to experience what it was like to have double asthma. This whole exercise was supposed to teach these kids sympathy, but it just taught him irony. So I was on Twitter recently, which I don't recommend, by the way. And on Twitter, 2 dads posted a picture with their baby. You know, perfectly normal thing. 2 dads, one of them is trans, they have a baby, nothing wrong with that. Except because this is the internet, it made some people unreasonably upset. A baby can't have 2 dads. It'll confuse the baby. Even if that were true, which I don't think it is, even if that were true, I don't think we should be deciding what's allowed based on what's confusing to a baby. Everything's confusing to a baby. They're a baby. They didn't exist 3 months ago. Traffic lights are confusing to a baby, but I'm pretty sure they're a good idea. If we decided our laws based on what confuses a baby, playing peekaboo would have the death penalty. Got your nose would get your thumb cut off. So before lockdown, I flew first class for the first time. Jealousy. Don't worry, that jealousy will slowly dissipate over the course of this story because I didn't deserve to fly first class. I was visiting my girlfriend's parents and her dad didn't want his daughter dating some economy man. So he upgraded my seat, which I didn't know you could do, by the way. You can upgrade to someone else's seat. He didn't need my booking number or permission. He just upgraded my seat. If I'm ever a millionaire, I'm going to do that to random strangers on the plane. But like, not as philanthropy. I'll pick a couple with a baby and just upgrade the dad. You know, really test that relationship. Does he take it? Does he offer it to his partner? Do they both enjoy economy and send the baby to first? That's the smart one. So in first class, I don't want anyone else to know that I don't deserve to be there. So when they offer a complimentary glass of champagne, yeah, you bet I'm accepting. Wrong move, economy man. Fancy people aren't visibly excited for free champagne at 6 a.m. They don't think you're poor, they think you're an alcoholic and they're judging you. So in first class, you get this fancy leather seat, the back goes down, the legs come up, you can lie down, you can sit up, you can... Just those 2 things, it's a chair, but it's pretty fucking cool. And after the champagne, they bring you a pillow sealed in plastic. And the person opposite me accepts, so I know it's not another trick. I take it and open it. Wrong move, economy man. You're not supposed to open the pillow right away. Everyone else discards it to one side because it's not a pillow. It's a duvet they've compressed down and shrink-wrapped the size of a pillow. Because I've ripped open the plastic packaging, it starts expanding out like Mentos in Diet Coke. So I cram it under the seat and put the legs back down. Except the legs don't go back down. And I hear this grinding sound. They don't come back up either because the duvet is now caught in the mechanism of the fancy chair. I end up sticking my hand down the side of the chair to try and yank it out, but it rips, so now I'm just pulling this ribbon of ripped fabric, tattered like my dreams. I'm going unnoticed. The worst part is that later in the plane ride, flight, I think they're called, I actually wanted a duvet, and if I'd asked for a replacement, I'm sure they'd have given it me, but I'd have felt shame. Wrong move, economy man. Fancy people don't feel shame. They're that part of their brain burnt out by designer drugs, chemically castrating their sense of humility. They're not embarrassed for accidentally shredding a duvet. They do that shit on purpose as a power move. Another duvet, please. Warm it up this time or I'll shred it again. I've been Andrew Coleman. You've been lovely. Good night.
Yay! Andrew Coleman, give him a round of applause! Yeah! Whoa!
Yes, good. I'm stressed. I'm very fucking stressed. I'll tell you for why. You might be wondering, my vibe this evening, it's very much, Barbie having a breakdown. And that's because that's true. That's where I'm at tonight. I actually bailed out my best mate's wedding to be here. Yeah. Wish I was lying. No, I'm not. He was offering, like family, friends, wholesome, love. This place was offering a potential £200 cash prize. And I know where my bread's buttered. That's all I'm going to say. I'm from the north. Yeah, we have some fans of the north in tonight. Fabulous. I'm a fan too. And been down in London for a little while now. And when I came down here, I brought loads of my northern friends with me. But not all of them survived the past couple of years. They didn't, die or anything. They just, left London and moved to the countryside. So, same difference really, isn't it? Yeah. When I came down here, my friendship group, it was like the cast of Friends, Now it's a little bit more like that spin-off series, Joey, where, I'm Joey, all my friends are fucked off. I've had to make new ones, and they're a bit shit. No one told me life was going to be this way. Had to. Yeah, but like I say, I've been down here a little while now, and I'm loving it. I am loving it. And when I was up in the north, there's differences. There's clear, stark differences between then and there. And one of the major ones is the fact that when you're there, you get these local eccentrics. Okay, and I'm going to tell you a little story, and I heed you a little warning about these local eccentrics. While you lot, Londoners, you might be thinking of moving to the north. And I'm going to heed you a warning. The rumours, they're true. The houses up there, they are cheaper. The air, it is cleaner. But the people will talk to you. Oh, yes, they fucking will. Total strangers. They'll find you when you're at your most vulnerable. I was back home a couple of weeks ago. Thought, I'll go for a little wander. Make the day feel fun. Went for a little walk. Was outside. Soaking in that stench of manure. Yeah. Shoved my AirPods in, listened to a little podcast about men abducting women. My kind of shit. And I'm walking along, I spot a Tesco's, and I'm like, I'm going to go in. I'm going to buy myself a packet of Quavers, spice the day up a little bit. And I'm in the queue, minding my own fucking business. And then out of fucking nowhere, this little old lady just appeared, as if out of thin air. She was like... Sorry? I said, it looks like rain to me. Yeah, no, I guess you're right. Yeah, it does. And then I was in, fucked it, engaged with the little old lady, had to walk her home. Yeah. She invited me in, she had a packet of Werther's Originals, did a little word search, heard all about how her grandchildren rarely visit anymore. Can't go 2 days without a text from Betty now. And those local eccentrics, they're what I'm warning you about. My town has a few of them. While you were dealing with, knife crime, gang violence, we were too busy dealing with the one man that brings all his chickens into Morrison's in a wheelbarrow. Yeah. It was called Chicken Man George. Lovely fella. Smelled like a bin. Yeah. Next town along, they had Catsuit Sue. Yeah, pretty on-the-nose nickname. She wore a catsuit. Her name's Sue. Iconic. Town along from her, Crackhead Carol. Hey, no, sorry, let's not judge. Carol was not doing drugs, no. But one day Catsuit Sue came to town and Carol cracked her head open. So that's where that went. Yeah. But to be honest, I'll be honest, London it's changing me, since I've been here. When I came, I had no idea what lactose intolerance was. Now I have it. How the fuck did that happen? Yeah. Get a lot of people repeating my vowel sound since I moved here. That's fun. Yeah, I used to work in central London till pretty recently. I had to quit. I was getting a lot of shit for the way that I answered the phone. Hello, Sir Hotel. Sir Hotel. Sir Hotel. Yes, sir, are you having an aneurysm or are you fucking lost? Prick. Yeah. Yeah, but like I say, I'll end on a nice note. I am starting to really like it down here. And being a Yorkshire lass in London, it can be quite the conversation starter. You know, people warm to you quite quickly. Or so I tell myself. And I was out with this girl. We were having a drink, and she's a new girl, new friend, posh girl, Tunbridge Wells. I'll say no more. And we sat opposite each other, and she goes, Beth, I was wondering, we're having this little dinner out in Shoreditch. It's like a little party, and I was wondering if you wanted to come. And I was like, yes, I would love to come to the party in Shoreditch. If you could just let me know when, and thank you. So I rock up to this party, knock on the door, Booth lets me in, and I quickly realised I was being introduced as a novelty guest. Yeah, I walk in, she's like, guys, this is Beth. Beth has milked a cow. And that's how I got my nickname, my local eccentric nickname of Backwards Beth. Thank you very much.
Yay! Beth Fox, give her a round of
And keep it going for your wonderful host as well, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause there. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is delightful to be here. I got back from living abroad quite recently. It's weird living abroad as a Brit, because you find out just how much better other countries are at taking pride in their country. Like, it is harder to show affection for England than any other nation. Because when someone owns, like, a big French flag, for instance, it feels like they're saying, I like France. When someone owns a big English flag, it's like they're saying, I will never try hummus. Like, it's different vibe to it. But I mean, we've got things to be proud of in this country. There's at least one thing that this country absolutely leads the world in, right? Supermarkets. We do groceries better than anywhere else on the planet. Because while in America, for instance, most people just shop at Walmart, in Britain, we are home to a full class system of supermarkets. Shops so clearly ranked by level of classiness. Every Brit knows the order. So this is very much the audience interaction part of the set, okay? Because if you disagree with the order that these are put in, heckle away, because it is important it's done right. But you start with Waitrose at the top, right? Yeah. Whose everyday essentials range includes otter. Then Sainsbury's, I think, which is... No? Oh, we're disagreeing. What are you saying? I'm hearing that it's the democratic view, M&S. That means I refuse to put M&S on my list on the grounds that it is a pervert, okay? This is a supermarket best known for having the horniest advert on television. This isn't just for... Stop making me want to fuck my trifle, okay? That is why we skip M&S, because they're emotional things, supermarkets. Like below Sainsbury's, you've got Tesco, right? The neediest supermarket. Just screeching, if you loved me, you'd have a club card! On a similar sort of level to Co-op, the corner shop that's taken a bath. And then... Then you're down, I think, to Asda, which is less a shop, more Morrison's drunk. Just, I woke up married to a child called George. And then... You reach the bottom and the nation's favourite, I think, Lidl. Yeah! German for Aldi with its cock out. It's a phenomenal place. It's a wonderful place, Lidl. Home to all your favourite brands in witness protection, right? Who wants a salt and vinegar prongle? It's a marvellous place. I think if there was an express version of Lidl, like a little Lidl, if you will, it wouldn't be a building. It would be a man in a trench coat just going, nah, mate, these are authentic cornflakes, yeah. Nah, the chicken's always had nipples. You're misremembering. It's amazing. I think it's a brilliant place in general, though, the British High Street, because I think every shop we put on it just has such a distinct personality. Like you've got Holland and Barrett, which is like boots for people who know how to ski. And then Bella Italia, Italian for nothing like Italy, right? My favourite character, though, is definitely Weatherspoons, okay? No, yeah, woo for that. I just love the premise. What if Harvester got divorced? It's great. The best part about Weatherspoons, I think, is the vibe. Oh, because you've got, like, the carpets, the comfort food, the mood lighting. It is so close to being cozy, apart from the feeling, you know? It's like the vibe they're going for is your living room right after a relative said something racist. Just, I feel weird. Should we leave? Yeah, we should leave. Yeah. Amazing. My favourite part of Spoons, I think, actually, is the marketing of it. Because the only place you see Weatherspoons advertised is inside Weatherspoons. Just reaching the key Weatherspoons customer, the men who are always in Weatherspoons. Just, we don't go outside, no. That's where Europe lives. That was my time. Thank you very much, everyone. You've been absolutely
Yay! Big round of applause. That was Cedric Open! Go get him, Cedric!
Hello. Hey, I'm Cedric. I was born and raised in France, but I live all my adult life here in England, which makes me a frog and a roast beef. A frost beef. I got the best of both worlds. I am arrogant, but I keep on apologizing about it. I'm better than all of you. Sorry. I also now queue, and more importantly, I stay in the queue. But whilst I am in the queue, I'm thinking, fuck you. When I was 10, I was in a hospital. The doctor told me that I was obese, whatever the fuck that means for a 10-year-old. He also told me if you're carrying like this, you're going to have high blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol. Sounds delicious. Give it to me, doctor. But to be honest, I was devastated. I was 50% of my world gone. Unhealthy food. The other 50% were my toys. I remember coming from school, go in the kitchen, grab a packet of biscuits, dip it in the Nutella, stuff it in my face, and go in my room to play with my G.I. Joe toys action figure. Punch kick, take that motherfucker, push, poo, poo. Hey, what? No one is looking. Let's kiss. Hey. Don't you think he's a bit gay? Oh, shut up and kiss me. Oh, man. French kiss. I will play with these toys for hours till my mom threw them away. I was only 17. Just a boy. And you know what? It's okay. I grew out of unhealthy food. I played with toys. Instead, I've developed a great sense of fashion, I believe. Philosophy teacher on the top, PE teacher on the bottom, and I love kids. I might be misunderstood. They are the future. I believe in them. Kids are the future. Yes. I have 2 kids on my own. Love them to bits, but they are not the future, not them. I have a 6-year-old. She thinks she's funnier than me. She may have a case. And I have a 14-year-old, a teenager, and she wants to experience everything here and now. And I told her, I put my foot down. I say, you're 14. You cannot have a boyfriend before you're 15. How you like this? Came back a few weeks later, smile on her face. She said, Daddy, I have a girlfriend. Didn't see that coming. As long as she's happy, I'm good with it. It's perfect. But she lives in a world with new ideology, new philosophies that I don't fully understand. And she asked my opinion. She said, Daddy, what do you think on non-binary? Went online, I registered to a coding course. She didn't like this, no. She doesn't like it on art, but she doesn't like IT. Anyway, before meeting my partner and having kids, I was struggling with women. I was a bit like Raj in the Big Bang Theory. I couldn't speak to them. Pressure was too high. However, when I came here in England, people give me hope. They told me French accent. Success. I thought I would have my work cut out for me, so I went straight in the pub, saw someone I like, went to talk to her, did the walk. Guys, I'm sure you recognize the walk. Women as well. Chest up. Smooth. Very smooth. Hello. How you doing? She was not a child. She was sitting, just a... And her name was Emily from Yorkshire. And I want to describe Emily to you guys. She was like the Yorkshire pudding on a Sunday roast. The best. Her and I together were like a piece of Colston Bassett Stilton on a fresh baguette. Mind-blowing. But she broke my heart. Thank you. It was 18 years ago, I'm over it. Thank you. And in order to forget about her, I visited the whole of the UK. And I've been in Leicester. I've been in Worcester. I've been in Bicester. I've been in your sister. Sorry. Guys, it's been my 5 minutes. You've been amazing. Thank you very much.
Hello, darling. Okay, so a heads up. I recently got a review that said that my comedy, and I quote, offers little to heterosexuals. So, if you're wearing chinos, buckle up. Give me a whoop if you are an LGBTQIA+ person. Strong showing from the Alphabet Mafia. Give me a whoop if you are a heterosexual person. Quieter. And it isn't because there are fewer of you, is it? It's because whooping for being straight is a little bit like whooping for being white. Heterosexuals, I am of course joking. You're obviously welcome here. You're welcome everywhere. That's how privilege works. Now, I always used to describe myself as a gay man, but I was specifically one of those gay men who's bought into heteronormative ideas of masculinity, so is only actually attracted to straight men, hence why I do stand-up comedy. I'm up here doing comedy, but no, mostly I'm cruising. Just scanning the audience for a lack of fashion sense. If you're not one, thank you for coming dressed as one, is all I can say. But a few years ago, I decided to take a step along the gender journey, and I started calling myself non-binary. Do we have any non-binaries in the room? Wow. Sometimes you just know you're at a stand-up comedy show. And that's fine, because you see, I decided that gender identity was silly, and that I didn't have to have a gender identity. The problem is, saying that you don't have to have a gender identity is not the same as not having a gender identity. I do have a gender identity, it's just that unfortunately my gender identity is Lana Del Rey. So, I pressed on, and what I've done in the last couple of years, something quite radical. I uploaded my most feminine photos to Tinder, changed my gender to female, and oh, the messages become quite niche. Message number 1 from a gentleman, 1 word, fingers, ? Lovely. Now, my first thought was, honestly, ambitious to go straight for the plural. But then my second thought was, do you know what? That sort of opening was fine when I was a gay man and I was on Grindr. I'm a lady now. I'm on Tinder. I expect romance. I expect sentences. So, the next message that I received was arguably a sentence. It said, I bet you're touching yourself right now. Statistically not a good bet. I was on the bus at the time. So granted, he was bang on, but he was very lucky. There have been some more promising gentlemen. The next one, we're going to call him Charlie because that's his name. Charlie was a straight Essex lad, bit of rough. Charlie said that he was going to make me feel like a real woman, which I think mostly involves doggy style. I think that's something that a lot of women don't realise. It's not about being a sister, a role model, a mother. It's about wearing silky tights while he puts it in your bum. But honestly, I have been shocked by the number of messages that I have received from apps from heterosexual gentlemen, including a particularly choice one from Charlie's dad. I don't know if they were related, but straight men all look the same, so... I presume chinos is a genetic issue, I'm not sure. Because I didn't realise that roughly 100% of heterosexual men are currently on dating apps looking for this. And when I say 100%, I mean look around the room. If he's wearing boat shoes, I've had him. And so I thought I would leave you with the story of the first gentleman that I ever went to meet on this gender journey. Would you like to hear that story?
Yeah.
This gentleman taught me a series of valuable lessons, and at the grand old age of 30-something, they are not lessons that I thought I would have to learn. Lesson number 1, do not, of a Friday evening, finish work and then head to the office bathroom to do a speed drag face. Why? The cleaners want to go home. They're going to be banging on the door, but you're not going to be able to let them in because you're going to have mascara over here, foundation down here, eyelashes down your arm, and your trousers around your ankles because you're not just powdering your face. Lesson number 2, while doing your speed drag face, do not also attempt to do a speed anal shave. You'll cut yourself. And then you'll try to powder over that cut, creating a red paste. Next up, once you've finished this process, please don't pull up your trousers and push out through a semicircle of disgruntled cleaners wearing what can only be described as negligee, and then get on a train to Chelmsford. It's a busy commuter train. You won't feel comfortable. And finally, once you arrive in Chelmsford, please don't make your way to a man's hotel room. Why? Because he won't be there. Thank you. I've been Chris Nelson.
Round of applause for Chris Nelson!
Always nice to be doing this, I have to say, especially on such a beautiful day. But speaking of beautiful, I have to say, everyone's dressed very nice. From the corduroy to the button-ups to the tennis shorts. Sort of like if gentrification was a crowd, but thanks for coming out, lads. But speaking of gentrification, I'm actually from Croydon, which isn't gentrified at all. But I can't wait. It's just not good, you know? Like, we got a Wendy's recently, and that's given me hope. But I just picture people frolicking, you know? Niggas running for exercise, as opposed to 20 bags, you know? And then I always have to tell people this as well, because when you say you're from Croydon, there's a lot of assumptions that can be made. And this always surprises me. It always surprises other people, sorry, because you can't really tell just looking at me. But I'm actually black. But no, when you're from a ghetto place, and you're ghetto, you see your fair share of parental beatdowns. You know, I'm talking hands, flip-flops, full-blown front kicks, you know? Like, it's a real thing, like, sir, you seem a healthy shade of ambiguous. Would you happen to be ethnic? Yes, I am. What are the chances? Now, have you been black for a while? Oh, that works. So were you beaten?
Yes.
Were you told it was your fault?
Yes.
Are you doing online therapy as well? Because you need to, if you grow up ghetto, because you normalise stuff that's not normal. I didn't even realise how ghetto I grew up till I started going therapy. Like, my dad got arrested on Father's Day. Well, I can tell some of you are from South London. And my genuine takeaway was, well, if I return the socks now, I can get my £10 back from Uniqlo. Which is apparently not a healthy response. Apparently I should be like, where's my dad? But that's neither here nor there, much like him. And then you start going to therapy more and you start thinking, what else have I normalised that isn't normal? you know, and then you think back to you as a child playing with some super glue in the mirror. Good times, pure. You guys are thinking, what? But when you've got ADHD, certain things just do it for you. And when you take that chemical and you drip it on that reflective surface, and you just watch it crystallize and turn into a solid. Now that's what we came for. You do that for about 5-10 minutes, and before you know it, your 8-year-old hands are super glued to a mirror. And you're just stuck there, knowing you're going to be beaten. And the next thing I remember is just those obese steps coming up the stairs. It's all right, she lost the weight. Nah, she didn't. And I just remember looking myself in the eyes as I'm being, as my mum would call it, slap up. I'd call it being beaten in an unsanctioned fight by an opponent from a different weight class, but we tend to disagree on that. But my mum's love did kick in. You know, my mum did love me, and she thought, I got to get this niglet off this mirror, man. So she was like, I know what I'll do. I'll get the glue removal solution from B&Q. So she threw me in the back of the car, still super glued to the mirror. And she drove 40 minutes to B&Q, and she looked back at me and said, I'll be right back, which is never a lie. And eventually a crowd starts to form, right? As people are taking in the spectacle. There's people looking in the car like, why is this black child super glued to a mirror in a B&Q car park in a broken down Mercedes? And you know what? Fair question. But they get closer and closer, and then I hear a Becky, Wendy, and Susan they're outside the car. I can hear them bickering. They're like, shouldn't he be in a booster seat? I'm thinking that is the least of my fucking worries right now. But then, you know, they get a bit more brazen. They're like, I need to get this kid's attention. They're tapping on the windows. They're circling the car. They're going around. I'm trapped at this point. I'm super glued to the mirror. When they're in front of me, they're behind me. When they're behind me, they're in front of me. They're circling the car. It's like a weird white kaleidoscope of female trauma. I just didn't know what to do with it. But then luckily my mum did come back and she shooed them away like pigeons, as you do with them. And then I always will give my mum credit because she did have the solution. We needed to go to the emergency room because B&Q was out of stock. But it always perplexed me because we live 130 meters away from a hospital. Meaning my mum drove past the emergency room, looked back at me, looked head on and said, B&Q is going to save my child. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Daniel, give a round of applause. Come on, go get him, sailor boy.
As you can probably tell, I've been to A&E quite a lot recently. And actually, for the last time I went, it wasn't for me, it was for my little cousin Alethea. She fell off a bike. And they refused to believe that I was her guardian because she's like a tiny little Spanish-looking girl. And I look like Eminem if he lived in a bin. So she needed to be sedated before her procedure. And the doctor came to me and asked me, would I prefer he went with general anesthetic or 110 milligrams of ketamine? My mate Big Steve once took half that amount and he thought he was trapped in an espresso machine. Two things, right? Firstly, why are we giving kids ket? It's only going to raise the prices. And secondly, why is a qualified medical professional with over 20 years of experience asking me, does this look like the face of someone who's going to turn down ketamine? So the thing is, general anesthetic can be quite triggering for kids, especially if they're being restless. And Alethea was understandably pretty upset because I was too weak to carry her brand new bike, so I just chucked it in a canal. But don't worry. She was fine in the end. But trying to be a bit responsible, I asked the doctor if she could try half and see how she feels. I'm glad a few of you laughed there because the doctor did not find that funny. And as I was leaving, I heard the doctor point over to the nurses and be like, can you please go prepare the lines? It's like, the lines? I thought the NHS would be a bit more professional than making a 6-year-old snort up a big fat line of donkey dust. Turns out the lines are what they call the injection tubes. Bit of a misunderstanding. So I asked for my £20 rolled note back. And the whole thing was absolutely great. And actually, it's brought us a lot closer together because now she's also into minimal techno. And I know where to get free drugs, and that's the real reason for this sling. Alethea's from the Spanish side of my family. I'm half English, half Spanish. And growing up speaking 2 languages has given me this like quite unique sounding voice, which in my head, I always thought I sounded like a sexy Latino lover. But in reality, my friends say that I've got the voice of someone who leaves comments on Pornhub videos. I will leave you on this. So I recently got my Spanish passport, and it wasn't what I was expecting, because on my English passport, my name's Dominic Barrell. On my Spanish passport, my name is Luis Miguel Jimenez Garcia Borrell Zarza Martinez. Sanchez Ferreira Ramirez Lopez Enrique Iglesias Raúl Mendieta Xabi Alonso Iniesta Shakira Valencia Santiago Santander Benil. What I'm trying to say through the medium of prop is that my name was completely different, right? The weirdest thing is that my mum completely got rid of the Dominic, my first name and my identity, and instead called me Luis Miguel after her really fat cat. Which I was fuming about because clearly she took one look at me and went, "Huh, massive pussy." Could have been worse. Whoa, like that. Her other cat was called Adolf, which I know a few moans, wildly inappropriate name for a cat, but it was Spain in the 1960s and it had a little bit of black fur just underneath its nose. And it only had 3 legs, so it was always leaning to the far right. But like Adolf, Luis Miguel's quite like a rare name in Spain because back in the 90s, it was the name of like a really lame singer. So it's like how these days, like no babies would be called Gary Barlow. But I did meet one Luis Miguel and he was buzzing when he saw my passport. He was like, he was a cashier at the Spanish embassy, and he was like, "I can't wait to go home and tell my mother that I finally found another Luis Miguel. Anyways, my name, amigo. How can I help you?" And I was there to pay him £300 to change my name. It was the one time I wished I was called Adolf. But unfortunately, I'm not called Adolf. I'm Dominic. Thank you very much, guys. You've been amazing. Good night.
Hello, everybody. Hi. So my boyfriend has gout. Gout's an inflammatory condition of the joints. He gets it in his knee and his toe. It's a condition that you get when you're old. You might be wondering, like, how old is my boyfriend? Daddy issues much. With jokes on you guys, because I don't even know my dad. I could have issues with someone I don't know. My boyfriend's 37, so it's like age appropriate. It's a very acceptable age. So he was really, really embarrassed when he found out he had this old person's condition. And he was having to ring into work sick a lot. And he was just lying, just blatantly lying. And just lies caught up with him. But then one day he was just like, "I've got worms." Like that was how much he didn't want anyone to know he had gout. So I've been with my boyfriend a couple of years now. We met on Hinge, and this is the first time I've ever seen him in real pain. And so naturally, my first instinct was to sue Hinge. Like Hinge's slogan, "Made to be deleted." Not if your boyfriend's got gout, you know, like. I set my age range to 38. I thought no gout was implied. I was expecting kind of some balding, couple of kids, just heavily into sourdough bread, but not gout. I think the thing that really gets me is that as a job, I work as a carer. I get paid to care for other people. So when I come home, I don't want to have to then care again for free. Do you know what I mean? And then top of everything, he starts now telling me I've got to suck his dick from the side because the normal way hurts. I don't know if it was trying to suck a dick from the side. It's the worst day. It just doesn't go in. It doesn't go in. But I thought I would do the honourable thing. I thought I would just stay with him because if he's getting gout at 37, I mean, he's not going to live very long, is he? I'll wait it out. Also, I have been advised by my solicitor to not be on any other dating apps whilst my Hinge claim is going through. And I don't like being alone. My boyfriend is like my personality, as you can tell. So I went with him. I went with him to the doctors, and the doctor was like, look, the reason that you have gout isn't because you're old, it's because your diet's terrible. It just consists of red meat and alcohol. And my boyfriend looked really, really sad. Obviously, he'd done this to himself. And then the doctor was like, look, this is the rich man's disease. Now, my boyfriend's from Croydon. So he was like, rich man's disease. And the doctor was like, yeah, like those foods like expensive. They're commonly like only wealthy people could afford them. And so my boyfriend was like, so you're telling me I'm suffering from success? Anyway, we left the doctor's office in an Uber Lux. Straight to Croydon. Tipped the Uber driver before we even got out the Uber. Like that's, that level. He got out. He was like, his limp is now a bop. He's like bopping. He's like shouting out. He's like, man's got gout. Like, he's like throwing out G signs. He's like, bruv, you still walking normally, bruv? You need to get on that gout game. Gout gang for life. Gout gang is just like him and other pensioners. So life will be quite limited. But he's better now. He's better. He changed to a vegetarian diet, so he's all good. But I'm going to be honest, guys. Like, I'm missing that big gout energy. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's the confidence, the swag. Oh, so he comes home and I'm like, baby, baby, baby. Do you want me to suck it from the side? I'm Vanilla Gonzalez. If you need to know how to suck a dick, see you later.
Ella Gonzalez! Give her a massive round of applause! Yeah! Oh yeah! There she is.
How's it going, guys? Damn, this is a full room. My name is Estefania. I am a Latina, in case my earrings didn't give you that. Oh, nice. Latina, nice. But I don't have any of the perks of being a Latina. For example, I don't have an hourglass figure. But I do have like greasy hair, a permanent mustache, and like a really bad intolerance to chili. Yeah, everyone's like, don't you find that you're overtly sexualized being a Latina? I'm like, no, I don't have that problem. Growing up, the vibe was very like body shaped like a goddess. And for me, I'm pretty stout, so for me, it's more like body shaped like a rhombus. And I'm okay with that. But yeah, so I grew up in Miami, Florida. My family is Panamanian, but I live here in London, which makes for some like conflicting observations, right? Like my family in Panama are always like, you are so American. And my friends in Miami are like, I just think you're really Latino. But all you guys in London are just like, I just find you really jarring. I get it. I'm on your level. I was at a restaurant the other day and there was a table of American girls right next to me. And I was listening into their conversation because I had no choice. And I just thought to myself, I was like, next time someone asks me if I'm from America, I'm going to be like, no hablo inglés. Done. Easy. So I grew up in Miami, Florida. Anyone ever been to Miami, Florida? Yeah. Any words? Like what comes to mind when you think about Miami? Correct. Anything else?
Faded.
What?
Faded.
Faded? Yeah. Faded as in like wasted? Or faded as in like melting away? Yeah. So that's sort of the vibe there. Miami is like a very toxic swampland built on dirty money. It's filled with beautiful Latin American women and men who like to fuck alligators. Sort of the vibe there. Growing up, I'm only realizing now that a lot of my friends' dads were actually drug dealers, right? Like I had one friend whose dad was 35, picked her up in a yellow Lamborghini from school once, and I thought, Gabriela, what does your dad do for a living? And she said, I think he's an entrepreneur. You just have to watch like one season of Ozark to figure out what that means. It's all you got to do. But it's interesting. I decided to move to London, right? So I could diversify my friend group. And by that, I mean leave the dirty money from Miami so I could like maybe marry into the royal family or something. you know, hoping that being Latina would like deem me interesting or exotic enough, you know, that something like that could happen. So I decided to make friends in high places. And I befriended a girl called Cressida. I don't know if do you guys know her? Is she here? And I knew that Cressida came from money because when I asked her, she said, "Oh no, babe, I'm not rich. I'm upper middle class." That's how you knew. And now I'm really good friends with Cressida's friend group, Millie, Tilly, Lolly, Pilly, and Molly. We're all always hanging out, having a blast together. Absolutely. No, it's amazing. It's a lot of women supporting women. Like, they'll all just like support each other when they leave their jobs and things like that. Like, Molly would be like, "Isn't it so noble of Lily that to leave her job as a lawyer to start that line of bamboo-based yoga leggings?" She's just gotten VC funding. And it turns out the VC is just her dad. It's amazing. I live in East London. Anyone ever go to East London? Yeah? Woo! Yeah, I just wanted to live by Brick Lane or in that area because I love vintage shopping. I love shopping secondhand. I really love to know where my pieces are from. So I came across this like super cute little place called Cash Converters. It's so adorable. And I got this necklace there and I was like, I need to know the provenance of this piece. So I asked the man, I was like, who made this? Like, tell me the story. Like, who brought this in? And they told me that someone dropped it off hours earlier because they needed money to buy crack. So shop local. Yeah, shop local. You know, I'm the daughter of an immigrant. So I don't know if if you grew up with a, the son or daughter of an immigrant, you know that like your parents worked really hard so that, you know, you're not allowed to complain. And I've been talking, I've been talking a lot to my mom about things like mental health. It's going okay. I'll be like, "Mom, you know, I have this thing called anxiety. You know, like, have you ever felt this way? Like, do you know what I mean?" And she goes, "I heard about it, but I never seen it." I'll leave you on this. I started to be a little bit more open about my bisexuality. Mainly because being quiet about it wasn't getting me enough attention. And I have friends that tell me, they're just like, you know, like, "Estefania, like, you should ditch men altogether. Like, men are trash, men are trash." And while I do agree, like, men can be trash sometimes, I just really do love to recycle. Thanks, guys. I'm Estefania.
Yeah, give a round of applause. Oh my God.
Right, everyone good? Some of you look concerned. I know how bad the tash looks, right? I know, it's bad, isn't it? Yeah. No? Liar. Oh, brother, you've got a moustache as well. Oh, shit! Yeah, that's... I thought it'd be a conversation starter, right? I thought it'd be like a nice little thing. Turns out every conversation starts with, "Sir, would you please leave the park?" It's bad. So bad. I know what I look like Freddie Mercury survived the AIDS. Then lost all his money in Bitcoin. I know what I look like. I thought it'd maybe like less approachable, right? But no, people keep fucking coming up to me and talking to me all the time. I was outside Londis because that's where I hang out. And I was just on my phone watching one of them Joe Pedophile Hunter videos. Is anyone? It's so good. It's my favourite content. I can't watch anything else. There's just something magical about watching someone's life be ruined on film. There's nothing... You can't beat it. Before the internet, I didn't have that. All I had was the VHS of my dad marrying my mum. It was very different. So I'll put the phone away, and I'm very aware that also a little old lady appears, and I'm not digging it. What am I say to a little old lady? What have I got in common with it? We both got the tash. That's it. And you might be thinking, like, "Oh, Jules, you're going to be old once, in the future." I'm like, "Nah, I don't think I'm going to make it. Like, I don't take care of myself. I just drink Red Bulls and smoke fags all the time. I ain't wiped my ass and then not been blood in 6 months. What does that mean? Am I the only one? See, well, I'm fucked. But I'm sort of like, eventually I do make eye contact with her and I'm looking at her. And I'm like, are we going to fuck? I don't know. Like, I'm nervous. But we're looking at each other and she sort of panics and just goes, "Penny for your faults?" all right. This is what I was thinking about. Joe conjoined twins. What happens if one of them commits a crime? How do they resolve that? And she walked away. I followed her. Well, she owes me money. What am I meant to do? Got a bit physical. She hit me, actually. Don't like Jesus either. I've been thinking about Jesus a bit. I don't like him. He's a melt. What did he do? What did he really do? He was in heaven with his dad, and his dad was like, go down there and save them all. He was like, all right. He's wandering around with fucking flip-flops on. His dad's God the whole time. I mean, what a flash cunt. And then he gets crucified, he dies for our sins. No one fucking asked. And then he went back to live with his dad. He's like one of them people who moved to London and couldn't hack it. My main sort of like thought about Jesus though, right, is that he was in a cave, right, for 3 days. What was he doing for them 3 days? And I try to put myself in these shoes. If I was Jesus and I was in a cave for 3 days, what would I be doing? I sort of thought about it. And I thought, do you know what? He's got holes in his hands, hasn't he? We all get it, right? We all get the... You look a bit... He's doing that. It's like a built-in fleshlight. It's fucking mad. Do you know what's the worst bit about it? His dad's watching the whole time. Mental. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck off. See you later.
Hello, Wembley. So last weekend, I had the absolute joy to experience straight women in their natural habitat. That's right, I went to my very first bottomless brunch. Fuck me, you ladies can drink Prosecco. Look, when I was 10, I was taken to the Great Wall of China. I thought that was cool. No, watching women drink Prosecco when timed is far more impressive. And I've been reflecting, I've been thinking about it, and I think I know why you drink so much. I think it's because you lead very similar lives to those of soldiers on a battlefield. Except your battlefield is all bar one happy hour, and you are drinking to forget the shit that you have fucking seen. And I want to say to you as a queer person, please, can you just stop being my ally? Because I'm going to be your ally. I see you, I hear you, and I salute you all. So at the bottomless brunch, I was sat next to a lovely straight woman called Michelle. Oh, Michelle, as I sat down, she said, I love 2 things in life, bubbles and Botox. And I knew she loved Botox because she just got it that day, and the whole entire day, I didn't know if she was trying to fuck me in the bathroom or fight me outside. And I was equally terrified and aroused the entire day. And she kept giving me little pearls of wisdom. She said, Kate, in life, you just have to ask for it. You ask for it and you get it for free. And I said, Michelle, I've been asking for things for free my entire life. It's why I now have a lifelong nationwide ban from all Sainsbury's for shoplifting. And look, let's be real. Out of the 2 of us, there is only one of us who just got their veneers for free in Turkey from a man that they met on a super yacht. And that person's name rhymes with Schmishmel. It is not me. But look, enough of you straights. Let's talk the gay agenda. Me. So I broke up with my partner a few weeks ago. It's fine. We moved. No, I'm fine. I'm thriving, actually. But the reason we broke up is because they wanted kids. I didn't want kids. And my phone really has not caught up with that fact because the Instagram adverts I'm getting are very specific. The one most recently is fertility help for LGBT happy couples. And the tagline they say is, we give you that extra boost. Now, the boost we needed was very intense therapy. The boost they're referring to is semen. I don't think semen could have helped us. And lads, it's been a decade since I came across semen. It's been a very long time since I came eye to eye with it. If I saw semen on the street, God, it'd be so awkward. It would be awkward. Small talk, it'd be like, oh, wow, you have not changed in 10 years. Still white and there. So yeah, not a fan. But I did also recently go to a wedding. Love is love. It was a straight wedding, and I knew I was the only gay person at this wedding because straights, you love to come up to me, you love to say, we love gay people. Oh, you gays are so fun. Oh my God, actually, we know a gay person. We know one. We know a gay person, and they are your perfect match. Okay, plot twist, they're never my perfect match. But I have to have a sliding scale to really work it out. So I say, all right, from 1 to Sue Perkins, how much does your friend look like Sue Perkins? And if it's above a 5, I will fuck your friend 100%. Now, for this wedding, we were also forced into a WhatsApp group. It was because we all had to get there on a coach or something. Anyway, so the WhatsApp group was called Coach in Love. Yes, I just gave myself an ick just saying that out loud. It was chosen by the bride, and I have a huge hate for WhatsApp groups. I don't believe in them. I think WhatsApp groups are basically the Facebook for millennials. I don't understand them. I archive and mute them almost immediately. I hate them a lot. But WhatsApp basically does have one good thing going for it, the muting options. And I'll explain them to you and why I love them so much. The first option you can mute for is for 8 hours, which I think is for very weak people. The next option is a week, which is for people that have a little bit more of a backbone, but really are huge people pleasers. Now, my next option, which is the most favorite option of mine, it's my default setting, is forever. Which does feel like a very dramatic jump. And I was thinking about it and I was like, you know what? Life is really tough right now. Yes, I have no idea what my future holds. I hate commitment, blah, blah, blah. But look, climate change is happening. Roe versus Wade. Priti Patel is just a giant cunt all the time. So much is happening. So if I can get a really good sleep at night, because I know there is 0 chance I'm ever going to receive an unsolicited baby picture, I will fucking do it. Thank you so much. I'm Kate Sharp.
Kate Sharp, ladies and gentlemen, boss!
Listen up, punks. This is a comedy robbery. Give me a hee-hee. Give me a ha-ha. Give me a whoop. Whoa, slow down there, punks. I said give me a whoop and a whoop. It's pretty good. No one's going to die. For those of you with a keen eye, yes, this is the Pro Fortnite Nerf revolver with the exclusive orange and blue camouflage. I am a man of culture. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have tried to rob you for your laughter. Allow me to apologize and say something from the heart. Happy birthday, everyone. Just wanted to get it in nice and early as a 1 year happy birthday premium. So you can't say I haven't said it, because I have. Been quite kind, haven't I? Yes, I have. Been quite thoughtful. Yes, I have. Got you a little card. Another year in your flesh prison. Thought those were kind words, thoughtful words, caring words. Let's have a look inside, shall we? As you can see, we have a sad blobfish, a sad pancake, a sad seal, a sad cat, and a sad pan au chocolat. To you, have an okay day from your favourite comedian, Moss. P.S. Please give this back to me Seriously, guys, it's been stolen twice now. Don't know who'd want to steal it, but it has been done. Pass it around. Everybody look at the card. Enjoy. Indulge. Been quite kind, haven't I? Been quite thoughtful. Papa Moss has been reading those crimbo lists nice and early. Got you a little present, didn't I? Got you some knives from Pret. Everyone gets a knife. Everyone gets a knife from Pret. There you go, Pret knife. Hand them around. Now listen, folks, don't get your hopes up, but there might be a cheeky cocktail umbrella hidden amongst the Pret knives. But hold your horses. Let's not get too excited now. I'm trying to be more relatable. Give me a cheer if you've got skin. Good to see we've got a lot of skinned beings out here today. Did that to a bunch of skeletons. Dead silence. Didn't even throw me a bone. Give me a cheer if you ever killed anyone with a Pret knife. Yeah, okay. Let's just take a few steps back from that kind of zone and don't let them get the Pret knives because you know what's going to happen. Pretty good at impressions, actually. Thanks for asking. I do a really good impression of myself. Here it is. Hi everyone, my name's Moss. Yeah, it needs some work. Yeah. I do really nuanced impressions of different types of wood. Here they are. That's mahogany? Yeah. You knew that, sir. You're a man who knows your woods. Here's my next wood impression. It's not drift. You see, sir, you've fallen into my classic wood trap. A lot of people, sir, they think that's drift. They think it's drift. They fall for it every time. It's balsa. Didn't see that one coming. Now, there are subtle differences between balsa and drift, and I think I nail them quite well. Final wood impression. Nah, I kind of fucked that one up, really. Yeah. You can hire my wood impressions for B&Q. Actually, no, you can't. I'm banned. You'll often find me hiding in the carpentry aisle doing a pinpoint impression of some timber planks until an unsuspecting family takes me home for a small rocking horse project. Next thing you know, I'm in their house eating their Dairy Dunkers, going number 2 in their cat's litter tray. That's why I'm banned from B&Q. I'll leave you with one final joke. A man walks into a bar. He's wearing a cowboy hat and a poncho. He gets on stage and does some comedy. Then he leaves.
Hello. I'm not going to lie, I was a bit nervous to be here tonight, but then my mate said, you'll be fine so long as you're not opening. So it's really great to be here, guys. I started a new job recently. Thank you, I know, employment in this economy. But I'm not gonna lie, I was quite nervous at first because it was my first ever corporate job, right? So there was all this corporate jargon I didn't understand. I remember so clearly being sat down by HR and being told that the person that tells you what to do on a day-to-day basis, they're actually called your line manager, which was so embarrassing because I've just been calling her a fucking bitch for the last month. Bit of a blonde moment. But no, now I'm 6 months in and I think I've started to find my feet. I'm actually worried that I've started to get a bit too corporate, right? I'm not sure if anyone else finds this, but I was talking to my mum the other day and she said that I've really changed the way that I speak, which, fair enough. I did tell her I'd circle back to her text on Tuesday, but does feel a bit rich coming from the self-same woman that once asked me if I wanted to go for a drink at Alberoni. And when I asked her where she meant, she pointed across the road to, I shit you not, an all bar one. Mum, we're in Clapham, all right, not the Amalfi fucking coast. But But no, now I'm so corporate, I'm worried that it's starting to like kind of affect my personal relationships. Like now, the only way I can come is if I listen to the theme tune from Succession, which is a bit of a turn off, a bit of a turn on for some people. But I mean, that's what you get for picking people up from Infernos, you know. Too much money, not enough love as a child. But now to get off, instead of porn, I just watch like compilation videos of Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson talking about crypto. Which has the added benefit that I'm fucked both by the patriarchy and my dildo. I mean, I say dildo, it's just a rolled up copy of the FT. I just love capitalism. Like, some people know Adam Smith as the father of modern economics. I just call him daddy. I started dating recently. My favourite dating app, I don't know if you've heard of it, it's called LinkedIn. It's pretty underground. And it's really great because it's got all these filters. So I just filter out all the men that work in recruitment because I've got some standards. Like, it's not a real job. Says the comedian. But, and yeah, I find dating quite hard because, like, I'm not saying that I hate men, although I am strongly implying it. But if I had a penny for every time I've been sent an unsolicited picture of a dick, I'd have 20p, which, admittedly, not a lot of pennies, but it's lots of pictures of dicks if you think about it. And like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not against dick pics in general. Like, I'm a fan of Picasso. I've taught myself to like things that are objectively unattractive. But being sent a dick pic out of the blue is a bit like when your mum like tells you to do the washing up, you know? Like, I was going to do it anyway, but now that you've forced it upon me, I don't know, kind of somewhat less inclined. Do you know that sending a dick pic without permission is actually a crime? Yeah? Oh, that's the face of a man that's just learned he's going to prison. Sorry, I mean, it's the beard, but what can you do? But yeah, catcalling, that's another thing that's a crime. I'm working with you, not against you here. Right, here's a pen. You might want to write this down, actually. So catcalling, it's a crime. And I'm going to be honest, I've never really understood people that think catcalling's like a compliment, right? Because the state of things people come out with is outrageous. Like, just today, I went on a run, brag, and this man shouted at me, "You got big tits," which you can't fault his eyesight, but it's a bit of a weird thing to say to someone, isn't it? Like, at that point, it's less of a catcall and just more of like an audio descriptive prompt. But I guess he's champion accessibility at the end of the day. Like, a good deed's still a good deed. But do you guys want to know the weirdest catcall I've ever got? 7th of February 2021. I remember it well. Because I was walking down the street and I was wearing these like baggy tracksuits and a big oversized jumper. And this man outside a Be At One, or Be A Tony as my mum likes to call it, he looked me up and down and without a second's hesitation just went, "Slag." This stuck out to me for a couple of reasons. I mean, first of all, why slag? Like, I literally had about as much sex appeal as an incel at an NFT conference, you know, like, the look wasn't exactly screaming, "Fuck me," but, second of all, it was absolutely bang on. I am a bit of a slag, and despite all evidence, the contrary just hit the nail straight on the head, like the kind of Sherlock Holmes, the catcalling world. But I mean, here's the thing, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a slag. Like, I think feminism's taken us very far, and I don't think Emily Davison threw herself under a horse just so that I'd hold out to the third date. But I think at the end of the day, being a slag is actually quite a lot like being a stand-up comedian. And this is like pretty meta, guys, so stay with me here. But I think you're only criticised for it if you're a woman. And despite my best efforts, the only gigs I get finish after 5 minutes. And on that note, I think that's my time. Thank you.
Yeah, give a round of applause. Well done, Serena.
Doing. This is a song about working in an office. Spending every day on Excel. I'm clicking through them spreadsheets. Click, click, click. Taking them charts, copy them to PowerPoint. I'm making them slides. Slide, slide, slide. Karen's asking, how was your weekend? The weather's been lovely, hasn't it? Shut up, Karen, stop talking to me. That's what I want to say. But But what I really say is, I had a lovely weekend, Karen. Thank you so much for asking. And the weather's been an absolute delight. Not a single cloud in sight. I hate Karen. Karen, go fuck yourself, go fuck yourself. Now back to my spreadsheets, back to PowerPoint. Ah, shit. Here she comes again. Hey, Vinny, just about to head to Pret. Would you like a coffee or a snack or something? Please, dear God, won't you leave me alone? His voice is like a rock bashing on a chalkboard. It's like sandpaper rubbing on my eardrums, and your face is so unappetizing. You're so old and so unnecessarily wrinkly. It's like Clingfield scrunched into a big pool as a human head. That's what I wanna say, but what I really say is, Karen, you're an absolute star. I'll take a note Americano. Karen, what a fucking bitch. Thank you so much. This next song is about maturity and self-love. Once I was a young boy and all I wanted to do was masturbate every single day. Now I am an older man and I still have to masturbate every single day. The thing with masturbation is, it feels great in the moment. All the issues come after you come. You feel shame, guilt, and frankly self-hatred. It feels a bit like this. Oh. I hate myself, I hate myself, I want to fucking kill myself. Hate myself, I hate myself, I've just all over myself. I hate myself, I hate myself, want to fucking kill myself. I'm all alone, I feel like shit, I need to clean my sheets in a bit. So that was the male perspective. My perspective, to be specific. I feel like you ladies are a lot better at self-love. Here's the female perspective. My favorite bath bomb, a scented candle, erotic novel to get me in the mood tonight. A glass of red wine, Adele on shuffle. I take a deep breath as my fingers go downstairs. I love myself, I'm here to fucking pleasure myself. I love myself, I'm the queen of my mental health. I love myself, I'm here to fucking pleasure myself. I'm all alone, who gives a shit? Don't need to shave my legs for a prick. Thank you very much, my name's Vinny Ting. Have a lovely night.